Hey everyone, I'm Bob Denson. Welcome to my very first full-length tutorial here. So this is how to play the 12-bar blues in two keys, starting from scratch here, from the key of A and the key of E. And also look forward to other full-length videos coming out here that will be breaking down specific songs. I figured I'd start with something a bit more general here. With the blues. So we're going to talk about what is the blues form, what is straight versus shuffle versus swing feel, just basically. Then how do you play it in the key of A, the key of E, in three ways. Now that's open chords, that's this, or the movable way. And then I'm also going to show you how to figure out the 1, the 4, and the 5 in any other key. So you can shift this to any key you'd like. Okay, now, first off, what is the blues form? They call it the 12-bar blues or 12-measure blues. Nobody actually calls it that, but bar and measure mean the same thing. Now here I've written it in numbers, in theory, if you will, at first. This is the formula for any key, and then you just slot in the A, the D, and the E as the 1, the 4, and the 5 in the key of A, or slot in the E, A, and B in the spots here for that key. And you can figure it out, first off, just on your hands for a lot of keys, provided there's no sharps or flats. But it works for like the key of A, E, C, G, D for the 1, the 4, and the 5. So if you were to stick out your thumb, you say A is 1, A, B, C, D, E, 1, 4, 5. Or E as 1, E, F, G, A, B. So E, A, B. That's one way. Also, you can figure it out on your instrument, and you'll get the right letters on your hand, but like I said, who knows? Maybe there's a sharp, there's a flat. You need to check. This way is the way you check. You need to know the names of the notes on the instrument, at least on the thickest 2 strings. And you would say, like, for example, fret 5 on string 6. That's A, and that's the 1. That's the 1 here. And then you go to fret 5, but string 5, and that's the 4 chord. A, then D, then you go up by 2 frets, and that's E. That's the 5. 1, 4, 5. Then, if you wanted, you could put the root on string 5 instead. To stick with this same key, you would go up to fret 12. That's A. Then you would, as this suggests, go down 2 frets over 1 string to the thicker string, the thickest string, and that is fret 10, that's D. Then fret 12 is E, and that's the 4 and the 5. So if somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, can we play the blues in B flat or something, and you're like, I don't know what the chords are, well, you just go to fret 6 and go, you just play that right there. Okay, so moving on, rhythms and feels. What is straight? What is shuffle? What is swing? So straight is just everything is evenly spaced. Just like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and that kind of thing. And in this context, if you play the blues, but with like a... Now it's it's rock and roll. It's, deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans. It's that kind of thing, generally speaking, as opposed to being purely blues. So then a shuffle. A shuffle is when the notes are not evenly spaced, but they're not evenly spaced in a very particular way. You're going to take each beat, break it into 3 even parts. So the easiest way to think of it is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? But you're going to play on 1 and 3. You're not going to play on 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. By the way, you'll hear me, I'm palm muting a lot of the time. But anyway, that is the simplest way to think of it. It's just 1 and 3. in an evenly spaced thing. Now, swing is a bit more general. Okay, swing is a wide variety of the things. So long as the first note is longer than the second, that's a swing. So a shuffle is a type of swing. It's just a very specific one. You would say that it's a 66% to 33% swing because the first note is twice as long as the last. For swing, it could be anything so long as it's not 50-50. You know, if the first note needs to be longer than the second, and there's a whole universe of feels in there. That's very abbreviated, but let's keep going. Now, we have the 12-bar blues. We've taken our formula here, and we've implemented or put in the correct chords for the key of A. And you could just play triads, so just A, major, D, and E. I cannot keep this guitar in tune. Or just A7, D7, E7. Just a quick note here. A7 is a particular type of 7. It's not any type of 7 chord because there's several. This is what they call a dominant 7th chord. Commonly they just write it with a 7 at the end. So these are the, example open shapes. There are other ways to play these chord shapes, but let's just say A7 like this, D7 like that, E7 like that. Okay, I'm going to play through all of these at the end, by the way. And then here, A5 and A6. So 2 strings at once. Here, let me switch the screen so you can see a bit clearer. We've got A5, A6, like that. So 2 strings, string 5 open, string 4 fret 2 to string 4 fret 4, A5, A6. And then you do the same thing. Now with string 4 open and string 3 alternating between the 2nd fret and the 4th fret. And then finally the same thing, but now on the thickest 2 strings here. And that's E5 and E6. And just a quick technical note here. These are technically not chords, even though people refer to them as such. They're intervals. It's just 2 points. A chord is 3 distinct notes at once, not just 2. But again, so like A6 is a whole chord shape with 3 or 4 notes, depending if you want the perfect fifth in there as well. But anyway, that's beyond our scope here today. Just a quick detail. So here you'll see I put a blank on purpose because you could put this on any fret. This is just for string 6. If we put this on fret 5, well, that's A. And E, it's the same as what we did before. Here, let me show you. So if we talk about this one versus that one, that's the same as this one versus that one on fret 5. Okay, so here, that's the same thing, okay? And then you do the same kind of thing, but just on string 5, starting on fret 5 here. And then you do the same thing starting on fret 7, that's E. Now, I'm using my first and third. Some people find that a bit hard to play, and they'll go first and second, as far as your fingers go here. Either way, whatever you like. Then you do the same thing for E, and it is E7, A7, and then B7. So like this. That's E7, that's A7. And now this one for the 5 chord, in this case, B7. So we're going to reuse these for E. Then we're going to reuse this for A. Same thing. However, there is no open version for the 5 chord for the B7. You have to play it here. So, yeah, you have to play it with your movable shapes. So we would have to go up and do the string 5 root on fret 2. And that would make it B5 to B6. Cool. So now we're going to play through them, okay? So I'm going to play the key of A 3 times through, and I'm going to play it the first time with open chords, the second time with the open boogie pattern, and then movable. And then we'll do the same thing for the key of E. A quick note here is when you're doing the boogie thing, I'm doing the first one twice, second one twice. You could also go, so it's 5, 5, 6, 5. That's extremely common as well. I'll do it the first way. Just, well, why not for this? So here we go. This drum beat, play along with, is important to play in time, my friends. We're going to play this one. Let me switch over here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, open chords. A, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 2, 4, 2, 3. Second line, D7, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And I'm just doing continuous down ups. 1, and 2, and 3. Last line, E7, 3, and 4. D7, 3, and 4. A7. Now I'm going to switch, and we're going to use these shapes here, okay? So here we go. I'm going to keep this on screen, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Third measure, 2, and 3, and 4. Fourth measure to the second line, 4 chord, D, 2, and 3, and 4, and A7 again. Last line, the turnaround as they call it, the last line. So you got to jump strings there, E7 to D7 to A7. And now movable. Third measure, 3 and 4, and fourth measure, and 3 and 4. Next line, this is the 4 chord. D, and now back to the A7. E7, fret 7, D7, fret 5. This is on string 5 root, back to string 6 root, fret 5 for that. And there you go. Now let's do the same thing, however, for the key of E, okay? Here it is. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Open chords. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and B, and 2, and 3, 4, and third measure. Fourth measure, next line, A7, 3 and 4, and A7. I'm just, again, all down ups. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and B7, the turnaround. A7, 3 and 4 and E7, 3, E7, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to switch to the open boogie thing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and third measure, 3 and 4 and fourth measure. The next line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and E again. The 5 chord. Now I played the chords there because a lot of people do that. Let's do it again. This is the second measure now. Third measure now. Fourth measure, next line. And now this time I'm actually going to shift to the movable here. To the open there for the B7 and the A7, now the E7. Now let's do this movable. I'm on fret 7, string 5 root. This is E. Now go to fret 5, string 6. This is A7, over the A7. Then back to the E7 spot. 1 and 2 and 3. Turn around, B. 2, 3 and 4. A2. E7, 3, 4. There you have it. How to play the blues in the key of A and the key of E in 3 ways. If you liked this, please hit that subscribe button over here. Hit like, comment. This is, again, the first one of these I put out. Let me know what you'd like me to cover in future videos, and feel free to go to bobdenson.com and sign up for private lessons with me if you want. Thanks, guys.